Welcome again to another edition of No BS Reactions. Super Dave here at Prog. It's time to explore some new music. Normally that's just new music to me. Today we're actually getting into some real new music. So, it's been a weird 12 months or so for those paying attention. Rolling Stones released a new album. The Beatles sort of kind of released a new song. Roger Waters decided to shit on his legacy with the release of Dark Side of the Moon that he covered. And now Billy Joel has released his first new pop song in about 3 decades. It's madness, I tell you. Absolute madness. So, in short, what happened was, I guess Billy got bored. As I understand, he still writes music, but he really doesn't bother to record it because, I don't know, he's not feeling it. Whatever. I figure he's just enjoying the nostalgia tour life more than the active artist life. That's fine. It's his life. Leave him alone. That sounds familiar. Anyway, the new song is called Turn the Lights Back On, and there's no real hint of an attached album or anything like this, so it's more like the Beatles situation than the Stones in terms of scope. Though unlike the Beatles, no portion of Billy is dead, except perhaps his liver. So, let's dive into Turn the Lights Back On, new music from Billy Joel for the first time this century. All right, buckle up.
Please open the door. Nothing is different, we've been here before. Pacing these halls, trying to talk over the silence.
All right, I know it's only 15, 16 seconds in, but I gotta laugh. Okay, so we're starting off. Yeah, very clearly, if you are familiar with his 70s output, this is a classic Billy Joel sound. The piano solo and the voice, just him and his piano. Slight reverb in there just to make it sound spacey. And his voice sounds great so far. I mean, he's a little bit lower, which is natural, but it sounds really good. He's in great tone. And it just does sound very much like his classic 70s output. Not much has changed, which is an actual lyric in there, which I think is funny. I don't know if that's self-referential. I don't know if it was done with awareness, but boy, if it's not, dude, okay. Anyway, yeah, not much has changed at this exact moment. We'll see where the rest of the song goes.
And pride sticks out his tongue, laughs at the portrait that we become. Stuck in a frame, unable to change. I was wrong. I'm late, but I'm here right now. Though I used to be romantic, I forgot somehow. Time can make you blind, but I see turn the lights back on.
All right, so we're still very much in the classic Billy Joel mold here with the music. And honestly, it does sound great. It could have fit right in there with any of his classic 70s hits. Time will tell whether or not it has that staying power, but it does sound really good. And it does sound very much of the time, like a throwback. I don't know if that's going to change as the song progresses. We're only about a quarter of the way through it, a little bit more. So there's more coming. But just the lyrics really do feel in many ways a bit, I don't know, autobiographical. A tinge of regret, a tinge of I'm getting older and more self-reflective. Thinking about the things I've done and whether I've changed or not and whether I should have. But I like the lyricism. Billy was always great with a turn of phrase, and he's still displaying that here in the themes of awareness overall, whether it's seeing in the dark or with the lights on or whatever, and looking back and wondering, should I be doing something different, which in some ways is ironic as he's doing something very much the same as he used to do in the past. Anywho, that's where we are so far. Let's see where the rest of this takes us.
Here, stuck on a hill, outsiders inside the home that we built. The cold settles in. It's been a long winter of indifference. And maybe you love me, maybe you don't. Maybe you'll learn to, and maybe you won't. You've had enough, but I won't give up on you. I'm late, but I'm here right now, and I'm trying to find the magic that we lost somehow. Maybe I was blind, but I see you now as we're laying in the darkness. Did I wait too long to turn the lights back on?
I sense an instrumental break. Actually, more than sense it, it's actually started, and I can hear it. Anyway, all right. Again, I like the build. I like the extra layering they bring in. They bring in some drums, a little bit of strings in the background, and they fill things in. So it's more than just him and the piano. It feels like it's building an emotional crescendo. And it's interesting because as I'm reading these and thinking about it, I'm thinking both in terms of a relationship, which is the probably straightforward interpretation of this, that he's singing to someone who he thinks he may have let down in some way and for a long time, and wondering if there's still a chance to repair the relationship. And in some ways, although seems a stretch, because as far as I've ever heard, everybody that goes to his concerts has said he's been great, they've loved it, they enjoy it. For me, personally, full disclosure, I've never been a huge Billy Joel fan. He's been one of those guys who's been really hit and miss with me. There are some songs of his I really, really enjoy and really have liked over the years, and there's some songs that have absolutely positively driven me off the damn wall. If I never hear We Didn't Start the Fire again in my lifetime, that'll be cool. That'll be awesome. If I never hear Captain Jack again, cool. I'm sorry. I know that's a classic. People love it. Probably was the one that launched his career. I find it to be the most depressing damn song I've ever heard in my life, and I could stand to never hear it again. I can't stand it. Other things, Allentown and Under Pressure and stuff like that. That especially late 70s, early 80s stuff, I really enjoyed quite a lot. So this fits in that category of probably songs like You're Always a Woman to Me that I like but never loved. This one, I think, brings a bit of nostalgia to it. But to circle back to my main point, the idea that if one interprets the lyrics as if written to the fans, like there's a part of me that says, is he perhaps experienced some doubts? I mean, it's been almost 30 years since he released a new pop song. River of Dreams was his last album. I think it was 93. So it's actually more than 30 years. And it makes me wonder if he, in some ways, is here questioning whether or not there's room for new music from him, even at this point, whether anybody cares to hear new music from him, and whether they would receive it well. And part of me says, if this is released just as a single with no mention of an album, is there any potential there that, along with the hint that he still writes music, maybe there's a hint he's testing the waters for demand for new Billy Joel music, wondering whether or not there's a place for him in this modern world of Taylor Swift and Nicki Minaj and everything. Maybe this is his moment of saying, I just want to see how people react to this and see, hey, if it's good enough, maybe I put out an album. If it's not, I'll just pretend it was always just meant to be a single, and I don't have to worry about being rejected and releasing an album that basically gets no attention and falls on its face. Just a thought I have there. Just me processing an alternate angle on this song and wondering if he waited too long to release new music, and he has missed the window of opportunity to be anything but a nostalgia artist at this point in time and to not again be relevant as a new creator. There you go. That's my interpretation of what I'm hearing so far. overall, I like the song. It fits in that same category as the Beatles. It hits a nice nostalgia button for what was from an artist that's been around for a very long time and is quite revered. And it's got a wistful feeling to it, and it kind of says Billy's back, but I suppose sales and public reaction will decide whether or not Billy is back, if you get my meaning. So let's continue with this. Let's back it up a little bit so I can catch the beginning and the fullness of the instrumental break.
I'm late, but I'm here right now. Is there still time for forgiveness? Won't you tell me how? I can't read your mind, but I see you now. As we're laying in the darkness, did I wait too long to turn the lights back on? I'm here right now. Yes, I'm here right now, looking for forgiveness. I can see as we're laying in the darkness. Yes, we're laying in the darkness. Did I wait too long to turn the lights back on?
All right, overall, pretty cool song. Not bad at all. And again, I'm fixated now on reading that through the lens of him speaking to his fans and his audience as to whether or not they still want new music from him, whether he waited too long. At the same time, it could simply be exactly what it appears to be. It's just another in the line of songs that Billy has written about relationships, about lost love, about making it up to people. He's done many of those over the years. And there's nothing that says that this song was written in the last couple of years. Those lyrics could have been written years ago when he was breaking up with Christy Brinkley or something like that. I don't know. We'll never know. But it's fascinating in my mind to sort of look at it through that lens and wonder, even if the lyrics were written ages and ages ago for somebody else, doesn't mean that he didn't choose those at this moment in time to basically be asking his audience, do you want new music from me? Is there space in your lives for new music from me? Does the public want new music from me? Or, am I pretty much relegated forever on to the rest of my life to be nothing more than a nostalgia tour? Just run around playing all the hits I had 30, 40, 50 years ago. And maybe he looks at people like Peter Gabriel, who at, 80? Just put out a vibrant new album, one of the best of his career, and just ran around touring. Billy's 5 years younger than him. His liver's 20 years older, but Billy's 5 years younger. So, maybe there's a little in his mind going, I don't know. Maybe I got something in me, but maybe nobody gives a shit. I don't know. Whatever. But those are my thoughts. Ultimately, I like the song. It's a good song, taken in and of itself. Whether or not it would have the classic staying power of the things he's written in the past, I don't know. I probably doubt it. It's because it's too, I don't know. It's sweet. It's nice. Nobody's going to hate it, I don't think. I'd be surprised. But I don't know if I suspect it's got that kind of staying power. And I don't know that in this day and age, it's something that's going to hit huge. I think a lot of people will listen to it, go, that's cool. I like it. It's pretty sweet. Maybe they put it on a playing list. Maybe they don't. And in the end, who knows? But for me, reserving judgment. Probably not playlist worthy. Not that I have any Billy Joel on my playlist, I think. What do you want? I do like a lot of his stuff. I don't put a lot of classic rock on my playlist because I've heard it all 1,000 times before, and I just don't need it popping up randomly anymore. So I've got classic rock channels I can listen to at any given moment, and I've got Spotify. So there we go. Those are my thoughts on Turn the Light Back On from Billy Joel. Brand new music for the first time in 3 decades. I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you think I'm underselling him a little bit. Let me know what you think of my theory about the meaning behind the lyrics, the added meaning behind them. Maybe you've been to Billy Joel concerts and you have some other perspectives and you're one of the people he might be speaking to directly. I don't know. Leave something in the comments. Yeah, while you're at it, throw a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what I'm doing. I got more of these going on. I got more interviews with prog rock superstars and a bunch of other fun things I do. And hey, that would be awesome if you can follow along. You can also follow along in social media. The links are below. Check out my all progressive rock, progressive metal station, The Expanse, on Live 365. The link is below for that, or just search Live 365 and you'll find it. You can also find the rest of my back catalog of interviews wherever you find podcasts. Search Bleeding Edge Interviews. You'll find it right there. And hey, that's all I got right now for you. This is Super Dave reminding you, never be afraid to deviate from the norm. Always keep it proggy. And this is Super Dave, signing off.